Low standards. This whole place is just.
Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is KidNativeBloodyElbow.com, joined by the ineffable, the inevitable, and ineluctable Eugene S. Robinson, author of Fight, Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Fighting, but we're afraid to get We are here
Yes.
for the infamous and patented Care Don't Care preview for UFC on Fox something. Shevchenko versus
Shevchenko and Peña, and we have a couple of guests here. We have MMA fighter Jenna Castillo, as well as hey, Lucas, come here.
Lucas.
We have a real bona fide Brazilian here.
A bona fide Brazilian on the show.
Yeah. He's
Wow,
on. There he is. He's come for the Pan Ams straight from Rio, and he speaks English way better than Sorrel. So I'm
teaching Sorrel.
I'm coaching this guy too, so he's gonna go into Pan Ams, sweep them all. We'll have him back when he wins.
I see. Don't teach him those bad habits, Eugene.
Oh, he's just too late. All right, watch the cord when you step out, man. Thank you, sir. All right, see, this is real. It's real.
It's real. It's realer than real. It's realer than real. All right, we need a disclaimer, Eugene.
Disclaimer: crybabies, bedwetters, malingerers, grumblers, work-shy individuals, idlers, greedy bread gobblers. This is less about your skills and talents as a fighter and much more to do with your the marketing heft and weight put behind you by the women, wim mawap. And if you want to get off the don't care list, fight an exciting fight. It is possible. Paul Felder, Alex Oliveira, Rodriguez. The list is full of names of people who have made the jump. Be one of them. Until then, don't come crying to us.
Well said. Well said. So we'll jump right into it. This is UFC on Fox, so it's going to start earlier than normal. Keep that in mind.
Christ. What day? Saturday?
Saturday. This is Saturday. So it starts like at 3 p.m. Central.
3 p.m. Central.
1 p.m. Pacific time. That's 2.
3 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Pacific time. So I'll bring the computer and set it up here at the training because I'll be training them. Sorry, undercard.
Guy never stops. This guy never stops.
Hey, you know what it is? The devil loves an idle hand.
I see. Well, I shudder to think.
Idle hand. The devil loves it.
Yeah.
I'm communicating with Sorrel in sign language.
I'm researching your claims to be running buddies with William and the Refrigerator Perry from last night's show.
You're crazy.
You're not in the Super Bowl Shuffle video. You are not in the Super Bowl Shuffle video. I can confirm that much. So just be it known.
Hey, that was separate from the Icky Shuffle, right?
Yes.
What was that called? The Refrigerator. That was called it was like this, right? Oh, I'm a refrigerator. Look, I'm a refrigerator.
Your performance is brilliant. Have you considered a career in recorded music?
I have. Yeah, April 15th. It's called Thin Black Duke, Oxbow's next record. Unless my guitar player figures out another way to effectively sabotage it.
I see.
Not turning in the artwork for reasons unknown to me, or not generating the CDR, or
those guitarists. So are you doing a cover of the Super Bowl Shuffle?
No, we're not. We're not.
Confirm. There's no cover of the Super Bowl Shuffle. Okay. No. Let's dive right into this. There's 2 fights on the UFC Fight Pass card. First up, lightweights, Jason Gonzalez and JC Cottrell.
I don't give a fuck.
Me neither. Sorry, fellas. Flyweights, Alexandre Pantoja versus Eric Shelton.
Do not give a shit, except for I knew a guy who knew a guy named Jonathan Shelton, and Jonathan Shelton was completely insane. But then he lost track of Jonathan Shelton, and then Jonathan Shelton ended up being a top line he was upset when he was like Asperger's kids, was obsessed with helicopters, ended up being a helicopter pilot, flying secret missions for the CIA in and out of several South American countries. And he was like, Jesus Christ, Shelton was like the real deal finally. This guy, Undersecretary of Defense in the Bush administration.
Wow.
Michael C. Duran, Jonathan Shelton.
Let's see this.
Real scoop, baby, right here.
Right here, dropping the truth.
But short order, do not care about this fight.
Well, what can you do? All right, and then we have 6 fights on Fox Sports 1. Light heavyweight, Marcus Rogerio de Lima versus Jeremy Kimball.
Do not care. Despite Kimball's connection to the one-armed man, do not care.
I see.
Oh, I'm digging deep, man. That was The Fugitive. Come on.
I know. The Fugitive, which might have some awareness because of the Tom Hanks remake. but I know
Tom
you're referring
Hanks,
to the
it was
original
Tommy Lee
TV
Jones, wasn't it?
show. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see
Tommy Lee
it.
Jones is one of the few actors that I ever sent a fan letter to.
Oh yeah, what? Because of his portrayal of Gary Gilmore?
No, actually, because of Rolling Thunder. So this is well before No Country for Old Men.
I see.
I thought his performance as a disaffected Vietnam vet in Rolling Thunder was bravura.
I see. Aren't you glad they don't make movies about Vietnam vets anymore?
I miss him, man.
Do you?
I don't have the same kind of feeling for Gulf War vets, having had one as a roommate for a period of time.
See, I had Vietnam vets as friends' dads, and it just got real old.
Yeah.
All right, so middleweight, Eric Spicely versus Alessio de Chirico.
Do not care. I love his artwork though.
Well, of course you do.
Man, we're going deep. Sorry.
This guy dropping all these nobody in the audience is aware of any of these cultural references.
Oh, really? Yeah, you're underselling the audience, man.
Of course, they're all high on bath salts.
I started talking about curling the other day. Some guys, LeBolt, he just busted right out with the number 1 and 2 curlers. I didn't even have to Google it. I just knew it.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Curling fans among your circle of acquaintance.
Knuckle up fans, man.
Very
well traveled, well read.
Yes, well, following curling. Light heavyweight, Luis Henrique da Silva versus Jordan Johnson.
Don't give a shit.
Me neither, man. This is brutal. This is a bloodbath. But now this one might turn it around, Eugene.
Might.
Just wait. Hold tight.
If it's a sympathy fix, no.
Just hold tight. We've got welterweights. Bobby Nash versus Li Jingliang. Huh?
Do not care.
Oh, dagger. Me neither. Sorry, guys. Now we've got one, though. Bantamweight. Raphael Assuncao versus Aljamain Sterling.
I care.
Yes. And do you have a pick?
Oh, man. These are gicks. This makes it very hard. I'm going to pick Sterling, though.
But once they get in the cage, these guys are less gickty than
oh, really?
when the fight's just booked, don't you think? I mean, they're very likely to not show.
yeah. there is that. Yeah. I mean, can you even call them a gict if that's like gict par excellence, non-parial, where they just like, man, if I showed up, I might gict you, but I'm not even going to show. It's a meta gict.
Meta gict.
Where is he? I don't know, but I'm picking Sterling.
Sterling, huh? I got to go with that too, because Assuncao's one of these guys that relies on people to be afraid of his jiu-jitsu to stall them into kind of a non-game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Sterling's not going to be afraid. So, yeah.
He no afraid.
Yeah, I think Sterling's just a terrible stylistic matchup for Raphael. Mm-hmm. Oh, well. So, now we come to middleweight. How the mighty have fallen, how the tiny have risen. I know you're going to care about this one, I guarantee it. Nate Marquardt and Smiling Sam Alvey.
Yeah, and I have no compunction at all about giving it to Marquardt.
You're picking Marquardt over Smiling Sam.
Yeah, of course.
The guy with the rictus face.
Yeah. Why so glum, chum? I'm waiting for him to break. At one point, they shoved the mic in his face in the wind. He's gonna be like, they laughed at me at the academy. So yeah.
Wait, I mean, what's the thing with the picking Nate though? I mean,
that he was tomorrow's man yesterday.
I see. He's more well-rounded. Is that what you're saying?
No, in that when you watch shit pass you by and the tearful post-bust confession and the sobbing and the watching McGee drive Rolls Royces around town and getting TV commercials where he's riding naked on horses. It might be the same kind of bitterness that affected basketball players who were playing basketball in like 67 and watching guys come along 10 years later and buy mansions. You might be a little bit cranky. You might have a perception that you're holding on by the skin of your teeth. You might think that you got to, you might have something to prove.
I see. But Smiling Sam can crack. He can bang.
I think he's an achiever, a jumped up achiever. But I don't think that he has what it takes to hang with the so-called big boys.
I don't know what John Cheever has to do with this, but
I didn't say John Cheever.
Yeah.
Cheever. You're just trying to keep it literary, baby.
That's right.
I'm
All right,
surprised you
now-
didn't go Sterling, and then we somehow segue into Spangler. You know, not
Decline of the West. It's
Yes.
a decadent, rotten pile.
Yep.
All right, now we move to
Oswald.
Fox. We're moving to Fox.
So hold
What?
on. I don't
What?
recall. I don't recall you making a pick in that fight.
Oh, I got to go with this. This is a tough one because Marquardt is far and away the blue chippier of the two athletes.
That's where I'm going with that.
But he's spent. He's shot. He's
He is
done.
not spent.
Time has passed, Eugene.
I'm spent. He's not spent.
I wasn't going to be the one to say it.
Yeah.
But I think Smiling Sam isn't the future, but he's the present. And I think he's going to fluke
All right. You're nuts.
Marquardt into the canvas.
So you're gonna pick Alvey.
I'm picking Smiling Sam.
Smiling Sam. All right.
All right. So now we move to Fox.
Now we move to the payoff.
The big time. This
All
is
right.
the big time.
All right.
Featherweight.
Uh-huh.
Jason Knight versus Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres.
Care?
Because of Bruce Leroy.
Of course.
Yes. But does he win?
He's inconsistent, but inconsistent does not always a gift make. In other words, if he's losing the fights that you expect him to lose and winning the fights you expect him to win, that guy's not a gift. So and he should be able to deal with Knight.
I have to concur. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Caceres to beat Yair Rodriguez, and he didn't. And I never have said I'll never say this again, but your logic is impeccable, Eugene.
My logic is impeccable, despite failure around here to believe so.
I
came in this morning ranting about voter fraud investigations and what a colossal waste of time it is, and
they've already turned up that Steve Bannon's registered to vote in 2 states.
Oh, Steve Bannon registered to vote in 2 states. Maybe there is some. Maybe that we got it. We got.
Don't worry.
Now he changes his mind. Now he's in positions now.
Just tell him it's fake news. It's just the kind that can be verified by facts and research.
Yeah, it's just fake news. It's just the kind that can be verified by facts and research.
Yeah, I think they should
Spend as much money as you can to figure it out.
Yes, indeed. All right. So now we come to heavyweights.
Heavyweights.
Andrei Arlovski and Francis Ngannou.
Andrei Arlovski and who? Ngannou.
Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, I care, and I'm picking Ngannou.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a classic. Can we get the old lion in the cage? I think we can. Can he walk in there on his own power? I think he can. Feed him to the other lion. We've got a match.
And also I remember talking to Jake about being backstage at a Strikeforce fight that they were both on, and he said Arlovski was kind of a tool.
I see. This was Jake Shields.
That could be a case of pot and kettle. I don't know, but
yeah.
But I trust his opinion of these things. Even though I'm an Arlovski fan, in this instance, he's not walking out.
How Taste My PP.
How Taste My PP was an all-time great blast, but he's not walking out with anything against Ngannou. No way.
No. Unless Ngannou just chokes, sometimes that happens.
Wait, you want to go back to Africa? Yeah, it's like, no,
you said it. I didn't.
That's right. He does not want to go back
to
to Africa, believe me. Even though I do love this fucking guy, I'm very, very sad about Yahya Jammeh. The Gambian leader who they chased out of Gambia. They gave that guy
he's
a
done
raw
so much
deal.
for his people.
Hey, he asked how long is your term anyway? He looked at them and goes, 1 billion years. I love that. Were I to be in a position to answer that question, I would answer 1,000 times that way. Until the sun burns out, that's how long I'm going to leave this fucking country.
You can identify with people with the level of ingratitude he was greeted with, can't you?
Oh, or him or Gaddafi. You know his last words before they stuck a knife in his ass. What have I ever done to you?
What have I ever done to you? Well, Muammar.
where do we begin? That's why he got the knife in the ass. He should. Maybe he should have asked another question like, "Do you like Tom Cruise?" or something.
Poor Muammar. I mean, I just saw a documentary on the BBC.
Tanked up on steroids and Viagra, as he was apparently.
Well, when you got that many Ukrainian personal assistants, you need all the medical help you can get. But Yeah, there's some awful stories about Gaddafi, but I was watching an Adam Curtis documentary on BBC, Hyper-Normalization, and basically, remember when Reagan used to bomb Gaddafi and blame him for terrorism and stuff?
Yep. Yeah.
It's been documented that the Reagan administration knew that Assad in Syria was behind the attacks they were blaming Gaddafi for, but Assad was too dangerous and too tight with the Soviets, whereas Gaddafi they could kick around, and they just needed somebody to kick around. So
We've seen this many a time in a barroom fight where, you know, two big guys about to look at it, and some little guy starts laughing.
hey, there's Kid Nate. Let's fuck with him.
What the fuck are you laughing at? Then, oh my God, here
Yes.
I am. You know,
Yeah, I've been there many a time. Many a time, it's a very predictable quirk of human psychology. All right, so we're
You know,
picking.
the thing is, if you're gonna get into a fight, you have to fully explain to a guy that if you are to win this fight, that it's gonna be really no holds barred. You know, that I can't be accountable for my actions after we stop fighting. That could mean anything. That if you've never had sex with another man, it could be that. I could drag you through the streets behind my car. It will be total scorched earth. So you better win. Because if you don't,
I see.
I'm filling your mouth with excrement.
Like that gang of kids recently that killed the other kid for allegedly stealing a bong. It was horrible. But
Oh, I didn't see that one. I was thinking about Ricky Cass and Say You Love Satan.
a classic. Again, with the dated references. Goes back to the 70s.
Yep,
And-
I wrote about it for Ozzy. You know.
Have they published it yet?
Yeah, they did publish it. They were squeamish about it.
Well, you know, not everybody can handle the truth.
Yeah. So says Tom Cruise. Hey, where are my bitches at? The Tupac Shakur biopic that's coming out in June. You guys thought I was joking. They changed the title, but
You know, it's close. It's close. So we're both picking Ngannou. Now we get to the big one. Welterweight, Donald Cerrone versus George Masvidal. Game bred, friend of Knuckle Up.
Donald Cerrone and Masvidal. You know, Masvidal is a friend of Knuckle Up. Known associate, been on the show a couple times. I got to go with Masvidal. I don't give a shit.
I think, as much as I'd like to stir some action here, there's a lot of factors, and I don't think you've weighed them. I mean,
I don't give a shit. I don't, whatever the factors. I don't, factors. Okay, Donald Cerrone, George Masvidal. Okay, never mind.
You see,
Right.
I mean, I respect the Masvidal pick, and I'm tempted to take it. It's just your lack of reasoning. Your reasoning extends to, I know one guy, so I'm picking him.
No, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan for lots of reasons. The guys.
The thing with Masvidal is the question is always, when is he going to put his foot on the gas tank, and is he going to keep it there? And his last fight, he was kicking ass, but had sort of a fluky finish, so he didn't have to answer that question.
Yep. Well, I mean, in my mind, he's like a Gegard Mousasi. He's a guy who's wised up. I think I'd like to make the claim that he's wised up.
You think he's turned a corner?
I think.
Well, I think he's either turned a corner, or Cerrone is so aggressive and dangerous, Masvidal will not be able to coast no matter what.
Yeah, maybe.
Which plays into Masvidal's hands.
I mean, the thing is with Cerrone, he fights so often. There's got to be a point at which
Bend.
Yeah, and you just stop paying, or you just stop. Your level of attention gets so diffuse that you're just kind of like, "Who am I fighting?"
He did an interview with Luke Thomas on Sirius Radio the other day that was the most revealing interview. It was a whole different Donald Cerrone. It was like a Donald Cerrone capable of conscious thought.
And he said what?
Well, he talked about burnout from fighting so much.
Yeah.
And the pace. It sounded to me like glimmers of humanity were breaking through.
Yeah.
And that it's always a bad sign when the meathead starts thinking. So,
Well, he's having a what's it all about Alfie moment,
What's it all about, Alfie?
What?
Indeed, yes. Burt Bacharach's worst song?
Worst? Oh,
Worst.
It's a great song. Well,
How is that a great song?
Look, you didn't say that it was a bad song. You just said it was Bacharach's worst. No.
Which means worse than the Blob theme song. So
No. They're not the worst. Not the worst. That's right.
But the Blob song is genius. And what's it all about, Alfie, is range. All right,
It's great, but Say a Little Prayer, that's up there too, man. I love that.
Are you sure that's Bacharach?
I think so. Each morning I
think you're
wake
wrong.
up,
I'll have to investigate.
roll over and put on my makeup.
I
don't want to hear about the.
That's definitely Bacharach.
I told you it was Bacharach. Who does a remix? Now she's gonna find it. Anyway, all right.
I see. So, but I think Cerrone plays into Masvidal's hand, amps up the aggression, and pays the price because Masvidal has better fisting techniques. His fisting.
Who? Okay. So you're gonna say fisting, by which you mean punching.
Yes.
He's talking about.
If you're gonna let that
Cerrone
slide through. All right.
Yeah. I couldn't.
Yeah. All right. So.
Oh, you're saying Cerrone by leg kicks? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Cerrone by leg kicks.
Yeah, that's the peanut gallery here. Jenna Castillo, ladies and gentlemen.
I see. Who hasn't come on camera, so we don't actually.
We're gonna have her in for the main card.
I see. Well, here it comes. It's already the main card. Women's bantamweight: Valentina Shevchenko versus Julianna Peña.
Women's bantamweight: Valentina Shevchenko versus Julianna Pena. Who wins it? She's giving it to Valentina.
Valentina, because.
And then she says that's going to be Julianna by submission. Why are you picking the Shevchenko? Come on camera. She says no. Her makeup is not done.
Mine isn't either.
Julianna only has one thing, and it's this.
She says that Shevchenko has better stand.
She'll cut the corner and just uppercut her.
She says Shevchenko has got better stand-up skills. Peña just comes in like this, and that if Peña's smart, she'll cut some corners and get around.
No,
but
Shevchenko is smart. She'll cut a corner.
Right. Okay.
Hooks, uppercuts, and knees.
So hooks, uppercuts, and knees. Shevchenko will cut some corners and get in on Peña because she comes in like that. And she goes, but that per force means Julianna's going to win by submission. I don't think so. I think success breeds confidence. I think confidence breeds success. Shevchenko is part of a winning couple. And, this is a team that the coach gets shot and then they go out and compete the same night or something out. So I'm going to go for Valentina.
It's been a while since Peña's had a public criminal incident. So
are public criminal incidents part of the equation?
Well, I mean, you just wonder, is she training? Is she on her game? I mean, a lot of questions are arising.
Criminal incidents, you're not taking fucking life seriously.
If you're not getting arrested, you're not trying or something.
Does it mean anything that the one time I got arrested, it was like for telling the cop that my name was Abraham Lincoln?
It means you've told this story a million times.
All I said was Abraham Lincoln, man. What are you going for, the world record like Donna Shalala? I
didn't even invoke the name.
Yesterday I said
after your attempt to overrule Donna Shalala.
Prick. How could that be a fucking Donna Shalala trigger? I use that word so often, and you could just, I guess you could say, all of your uses of the word prick, I know.
Yeah, the iniquity is deep. So are you outsourcing your pick?
I'm going to outsource my pick. No, I'm all in for Eastern European anyway. So
I see. We know about this. So
don't get confused. Poland is not Eastern European. Poles do not consider themselves Eastern Europeans.
Well, everyone else does.
Yeah, they disagree with that assessment. If you got an hour and a half between you and the next big city in Germany, like Berlin, you don't consider yourself Eastern European.
I see. Well,
you look down your nose at Romanians and Hungarians.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Moldavians, that's who. Albanians, that's who.
No, I was asking last night, strangely, about Central European, Eastern European status. Like, if a woman in such and such country brings home such and such, would there be a scandal?
If a Bulgarian woman brings home a Hungarian man.
And she didn't know. I go, okay, well, what about Poland?
Well, Hungarians aren't even Slavs. Did you know that?
That's right. That's true. They're my guys, right? So
my guys, yep.
What if you bring home a Russian guy? Nah. Well, what if you bring home a German guy? Well, there might be a stink guy, depending on how old your parents are. There might be a stink guy. I go,
just because of a war and an invasion?
I said, well, what about a black guy? I said, no, black Americans are fucking exotic, so that'd be like, somebody from Mars. It'd be kind of a cool thing, maybe. I said, well, she goes, thought a bit, and goes, you know what? I hate to say it, but I know Poland, and the thing is, you bring home somebody who's Jewish, it could be a thing. So not my parents, she said, but it could be a thing.
A very anti-Semitic little country. Wouldn't that be a great TV special? Poland, a very anti-Semitic little country.
Given the administration in Poland right now, the PiS party, who are completely insane, right now they are standing in the way, trying to ban international adoptions of disabled Polish children. You say, why would they want to empty the orphanages if Americans want to adopt? And they say, well, it's less about Americans. Some say it's to keep Poles from adopting Syrians, which that doesn't really seem to be a case. Others say it is, if you do that, you drain the orphanages and subsequently drain the church's power, because right now the churches in Poland are running the orphanages. So I was like, fuck. That's
always
tight.
gotta
That's
blame
tight.
the Pope.
That's tight. You don't want the disabled kids fucking adopted. You would rather them live in orphanages in Poland than get adopted into American families.
Bills to pay. Bills to pay. You ever tried to run a church?
Yeah, yeah. You see how much that Pope mobile cost?
The frankincense, the
You
myrrh.
got spinners on the rims, you know.
The bills just mount. The bills mount, Eugene. It's not pretty.
Well.
So have some sympathy. Have some
So
have some human compassion, Eugene. I'm hearing a lot of heartlessness here.
Hearing and seeing. All right, so are you going to make a pick on this one, or are you going to just stand?
Well, see, I want to pick Pena, except I don't have any reasons to do it. I don't think she's got the skill set to beat Shevchenko. I don't know that Shevchenko can knock her out, but I don't think Pena can do much unless it's a late submission.
Well, MMA fighter Jenna Castillo said Shevchenko, but now that she said it, she believes Peña will win by submission.
I see. So she thinks
she's cursed. She's cursed Valentina.
She's jinxed it. That's not a logical argument, and I need logic.
You need logic.
Reason.
You're not pursuing voter fraud registration to the tune of millions of dollars.
No, I'm not especially worried about that. So yeah, I've got to pick Shevchenko. I mean, it's but a bigger thing is, what the hell is this fight doing headlining a Fox card? I mean, the theory is, I guess, that Shevchenko versus Holm did pretty okay ratings on Fox. Yep. So let's do it again. But is this a good theory?
Also, I think the growth deltas are in women's MMA are pretty significant.
Yeah, I think so.
In a lot of ways, right? Because, what's the likelihood, you talk about public criminal acts, what's the likelihood that we're liable to see Valentina, going to strip clubs at 6 o'clock in the morning, crashing her car and leaving? Who? Yeah, babe, she said Pena got arrested before.
Yeah, exactly. You're debunking your own argument.
No, not this. Well, you're gonna say it's comparable? It's not comparable.
Well, Pena's got a nose for mischief. Let's just say that.
Ariana Celeste has been arrested more times than any other woman in the octagon. Yeah.
Well, Brittany Palmer's had her share of legal issues.
Has Brittany Palmer? I didn't know that.
Well, I don't think she's ever been charged, unlike Ariane, but she's charged others. She's been in situations that resulted in, I believe, her husband facing charges. It was actually kind of a spooky story, but I'll let people research that on their own. Okay. Yeah, I got to go with Shevchenko, and I guess, I mean, this is the fight they could make. So here we are, Saturday night, UFC on Fox. It'll be an early show. We'll have the 6th round after the fight coming up tomorrow. Zane and Connor will have the MMA section. Yeah. You're pretty slow on the uptake, Mr. Robinson.
Because I started to feel slightly woozy,
I see.
I think I'm having I need a Hall's Mentoliptus. I've been trying to restrict my calories on the outside expectation I'm going to compete in this IFBJJ thing. So I'm training, and I went to see a movie last night. So I went to sleep very late. And
what movie did you go see?
Split.
How was it?
It's better than The Village and Chameleon's other stumbles, but I just kind of wonder, how is it they giving this guy so many chances? And they'll give him a lot
because his last one was fucking scary. I was talking about on the show last night.
Tell me.
The one with the grandparents, where the kids go to visit their grandparents, and their grandparents are
really scary. No, Tim, just tell me the name of it.
I don't remember the name of it.
All right.
It's called. I got to look it up. I can't let our viewers hang. I mean, now they all know.
Well, the deal is with Chameleon is that his movies cost $5 million, and then they make $175 million. So a guy like that, you're going to keep giving chances.
Well, a couple did, but then he jacked it. But the last movie was cheap and made money. And let me pull up what it was. What was it? It was The Visit. The Visit.
Okay, don't tell me anymore. I will see
It's
it.
excellent. It's well worth seeing, although the handheld camera action can be nauseating for those.
I almost passed out on one of the, like, I couldn't watch Blair Witch and the one that one of those ones that came after about aliens with the handheld, supposed to be point of view. It's like, you know what? I can't do it, man. You're making me woozy here. No.
Yeah, I mean, and people can tolerate a lot more handheld than they used to. But
yeah, that's only because of POV porn. But you know,
judge for yourself.
Oh, you're in the scene, really?
I only watch porn shot with tripods and dollies, so I'm pretty much a stickler for that. So that's our show. Eugene will have Knuckle Up on Sunday, and we'll be back. There's another UFC Fight Night, Bermudez versus the Korean Zombie.
Bermudez.
Yep, that's coming up on February 4th. So we'll have all the fixings for that. So,
and if you're in Northern California on February 10th, you got a freestanding VIP ticket to the Sex with Eugene live event in San Francisco. If you have friends in San Francisco, you know the routine. Text me. I'll give you the quiz, give you the VIP pass. February 10th, San Francisco. If you're there or you know somebody in San Francisco, show up. It's going to be a great drunken extravaganza.
Very exciting. Sex with Eugene.
Guests. It won't be just me. There'll be guests.
That's very exciting. Very exciting. So, Eugene tried to show us how to do the thumbs up, but that's wrong. Give us a thumbs up on the your screen there.
Right through the goalpost, baby.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at KidNate, at Eugene S. Robinson. You can read Eugene at Aussie.com. Read me at BloodyElbow.com. Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. Subscribe to MMA Nation on iTunes. Get the audio without the ugly. I believe that's all their plugs. So adios, Eugene. Adios, MMA aficionados. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Eugene.
All right, man. Later.